What? Hot damn, that's good. Hi everyone, it's Den here. Welcome to the School of Light and an episode of Smith Tries Stuff. Well, today is a biggie. I know I keep saying that, but this really is. On this bag, you can see Scanner Darklight Pro. That's what we're looking at today. See that logo down there? That is the logo of Children of Darklight. See this tattoo here? That is the logo, Children of Darklight. Frodo is someone who I have such an amazing amount of respect for. I think he's one of the most creative, hardworking people in our community, and I have a deep appreciation. I was going to say love, I suppose it is, but I have a deep appreciation for this guy. He sent this to me an inordinate long time ago. I have been so unbelievably busy. I'm very pleased to be getting into doing this. Yes, so Frodo, I'm very sorry, mate. I feel like I've been a bit lax. However, today outside here it's 43 degrees centigrade. For those of you in the upside down world, that's way over 100. So air conditioning's on, locked in the studio. Let's get this done. Okay, where should we start? Well, I can tell you this. I paid a bit of money towards this device, but fundamentally it was sent to me by Frodo and the team to try out, which I'm very grateful for. We've covered off the fact that I'm a huge fan, so what I'm not going to be is a complete dick. You're not going to see me tear this thing apart. It's not going to be some hyper-technical sort of breakdown of color temperatures and accurate sort of how bright it is. I'm just going to open the thing up, make some work and have some fun. I have made a lot of scanners. I use them all the time. I use them for doing portraits. I use them for, you might have seen my saxophone and guitar stuff, my plants, all of that. Cars, of course, I do a lot of scanning with cars, and there's a lot of different scanners I use for that. So what we're going to have a quick chat about now is the difference between a scanner and a calligraphy tool, because they're both the same in this thing. So scanners. So it kind of starts, for me, one of the things you'll notice is that scanners are they're for doing portraits and scanning cars and bits and pieces. So they all come in different sizes and powers and shapes. So this is one. Then we have a sort of a mid-size one here. You would have seen me doing plants and the guitars and stuff with that. Then we have really big ones, which are for doing things like cars and stuff. Then, of course, we have a backlight scanner, just quietly another Palateth invention. So backlight scanners are fantastic for lighting up, scenes from behind, which gives a beautiful effect. You can just tuck over there, mate. Got a micro scanner here, so this is you will barely be able to see this because it's for doing tiny little things, and I'm pretty sure the battery's flat. And then there's calligraphy tools, right? So if we think of the great calligraphy, is it there? Yep, there we are. There's a Sam Mass tattoo. So the great Sam Mass, who clearly, I don't have a lot of ink, is someone I just adore. Now, any of those guys, calligraphy is where you can actually see the light source. So with a scanner, we want to hide the light source. So you don't want to see the actual light, we just want to light the thing, right? So with a calligraphy tool, it's the opposite. We want to see the light. We want to create shape and texture with it, like that. That's calligraphy. Those are scanners, and the Scanner Darklight Pro, which is here, does it all, which is quite amazing. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to run through the tool. We're going to have a look at it. We're going to do a bit of light painting with it in this video, but I want to keep it short. So then what I'm going to do is we're going to do some separate videos where we use the tool to do some actual scanning and stuff, maybe in the garden, although not on it'll still be 30 degrees tonight. So let's get into it. Here is the device. When I first saw it, when I first saw the design, when Frodo kind of first was showing it, I thought it looked a little clunky and a little weird. But like all great things, once I got it in my hand, you can tell that this was designed by someone who does a shit ton of light painting. Because it feels really natural in the hand. The other thing that happens when you see it for the first time is you go, oh my gosh, there's a lot of buttons here. There's 3 buttons there, there's 1 under there, there's 2 here, there's a pot here. But again, like all of these things, once you start using it and you get used to it pretty quick. And I'll run through them quickly. Frodo's done a tutorial on this. Now quickly, for those of you with a keen eye, you'll notice that there's a thing missing off here. I'll explain why in a bit. I think I broke it, and I can't find the bit that's in there. I do have some to replace it with. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. So we've got a whole lot of switches. It's got an 18650 battery in here, and it's rechargeable. So one of the knobs here, you put it one way to charge it, one way to activate it. So we've got cool, warm, cool, RGB. And then if we put it up here, see that little light there? There's a little piece of clear acrylic that comes out of there for it to be a calligraphy tool. Then we've got RGB. Now you might not be seeing that as RGB, and we have a controller here to control the RGB aspect of it. So I can turn it blue, orange, green, and so on and so forth. There we go, so on and so forth. Yeah, and then we have, you can have it continuously on, so I'm not touching any of the buttons and it just stays on. So there is a whole lot of sequences of, what have I done here? There's a whole lot of sequences of buttons. And I think it's really important to remember, because this is how I felt about it in the first place, is when I picked it up, I thought, oh my gosh, that's really confusing. Now I've been using it for a bit. It's really not. It's like, you just get the hang of it. Next thing, let's talk about attachments. So this part here comes off, and this has a grid in it. And I'll tell you what the grid is for. When you turn these things on, I'll put it on there, and see the spread of light there. If I take the grid off, it goes a lot wider, right? So the idea of the honeycomb grid is that it focuses the light a little bit. Really good if you're doing scanning and stuff. You want it this way if you want the light to spread around. So this has the accessory kit, and I'll walk you through those. So we've got this one here. This looks like some kind of hood. It's made of like a rubberized material, so you're not going to break it. You put that in there and it becomes a bit of a shield. So see, we've got this beautiful even light here, but we can't see the light from the side, and that's always what we want. If we get too close to the light and you see that, you get a white streak through. So this looks like a wide hood. And then what we've got here, put it the other way, and it's a bit more of a narrow light, but it really directs it. Look at that, nice sharp lines. Hi-ya! Then we've got this attachment here. Now what this appears to be is an attachment, because I watched the tutorial, for sticking things like acrylic and tubes and stuff into. Now, I have not actually done this yet on this. I'm pretty sure if you take that off, a standard light painting brushes fitting goes into there. Yes, it does. Wicked. I don't think a lot of light's coming out of there, but there we go. So any of the light painting brushes accessories will probably go in there. Yeah, there we go. There's a green light there. Now here's the one that I like, and I've left it to last because this is the one I really like. So this accessory here, again, rubberized, slots onto there. And this here has a, let me put some, look at that. So this cylinder here, you could do all sorts with this. So I quickly, the other day, I just put some gels on here, but these ends pop off, pretty sure. And when we do some painting, I'm gonna pop some, I'm gonna put some, you could do all sorts of really cool shit with that. So that's a very cool accessory, actually. Wow. So here's the thing, right? So it's a calligraphy tool, it's a scanning tool, it's a light painting tool. It's very cool. It's a cool tool. It's really well made. I don't know how bright it's going to be. And the only way to find that out is to do some bloody light painting. So all of that said, let's get into it. However, something just popped into my mind. I have made and sold thousands of tools, and I'll tell you this, it takes a lot of courage to design a thing, manufacture it, make it reliable, and ship it. It takes a lot of time, more time than any of you that ever purchased one of these will ever know. So it's nice to say that, because I know Frodo is very humble and he probably would not say it. It takes balls to put a tool like this together and sell it. So I'm very proud of you, mate, because you've made something really cool. You've thrashed it to death. I know you've used it a lot. And there's something really beautiful about a light painting tool coming out of the hands of actual light painters. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna reset the studio and yeah, I tell you what, before we do that, I'll talk you through, so I recently had a cactus in here. of all things. I recently had a cactus in here and I used the scanner on the cactus. And it was really nice. And I used this for the first time. And it did a really, really, really good job. So I thought that was really nice. So what we're going to do, I'm going to reset the studio. And we are going to do some light painting. It's so bloody hot outside. I was thinking we'd go outside tonight, but we'll see how we go. It's pretty hot, but I think what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a plant in and we'll light paint a plant and we'll do a bit of light painting. See how we go. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so here's what we've got. Where are you? There you are. Hello. Okay, I'll tell you the setup that I've got. We're going to go outside a bit later, but while it's ballistically hot outside, you get to see my knees, which is pretty exciting. I have got a remote control. This is my stills camera here. I have a lead going off to a monitor up there, so I can see the images without having to come around constantly because we don't want to be pissing around. I've got it on full power. I've got the cool LED on. I have the camera set to bulb because I'm using my remote, and I'm just turning it off and on. But really the only numbers that matter with regards to this is the aperture and the ISO, because those are the only things that are going to matter when we're talking about brightness in the tool. Alrighty, so look, all I'm going to do is I start and stop the exposure. So that I know I'm done. You can set it to a time if you like, 5-10 seconds, but for me with my trigger, this is how we go. So I've got it set to full power, cool white. So let's make an image. And stop. All right, let's have a look. Nice. Okay, so I'll tell you a couple of tricks. It's like when you're doing a portrait, right? When you're doing a portrait, you don't scan directly from the front because the light is flat. We come from the side to give shape and shadow. For me, it's the same with plants and things, right? So if I light it from the side here, we're going to get and I'll give you an example. So let's go, open, there we are, close. Perfect. Now see in this image, because we'll be looking on the screen, the light was turned around a bit so you can actually see that's what that white line is on the side. Now I'm going to start coming around with the scanner, open, come around, close. So we start to get a bit of a nice, more pleasing shadow. Open, come down and close. Beautiful. Now I'm not going to review them, but what I do know is that we're starting to get a much more pleasing shape. Here's another tip. So if we hold the scanner on an angle like, I'm thinking about angles of attack, right? So if we light it from the front like this, two things happen. One is we end up covering it from the camera. But the other thing is you want to keep the light pointing down the whole way down past it. And that's because, for the same reason that this video light is pointing down and portrait lights are pointing down, now everything can be made different, but I hold it down the whole way and that gives us a really nice shadow. Let's go again, open, nice one. All right, so that's a single scan. So we are getting a bit of a highlight warning. It means that it's too bright, is that we either need to increase our aperture or change the brightness of the tool. Oh my gosh, we have the ability to do that. Now that leaf was a bit hot and I don't want to change from f7.1. So what I can do is let's go and we can adjust the brightness. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down a little bit and open. Now that'll be too dim, and close. Oh, it is quite nice though. I do quite like that. Open and close. Yeah, that's really nice. Actually, that's really nice. And I've dimmed it right down. All right, I'm going to go again. I'm going to make it a little bit brighter, but I'm staying at f7.1 and open and close. Yeah, nice. That looks really nice actually. Whoosh, over here. But then I'm going to come around the back and go from the back corner here. Just to backlight it a bit. Oh, gorgeous. Look at that. Okay, beautiful. All right, so that worked really well. What I am going to do now though, I'm going to go on to warm. Right, and I want to show you something really interesting. Here we go. Open. Right, very warm. Here we go, and close. Right, look at that. It's basically an orange light. Really, the cool and the warm is a whole lot of creative choices. Okay, here's a great test. I'm going to jump onto full brightness on the cool one, and I'm just going to see what aperture we need to go down to not blow it out. All right, here we go. Open, scan, close. That's super hot, I can promise you that. So I'm going to go to like F11. Let's go. Boom. That's wild, actually. That's wild that we're at F11, and still, F11, and it's fine. That's amazing, actually. That is actually very bright, which is quite wild. You know what would be, yeah, that's incredible, actually. That's blowing me away. I am going to do a scan in color, and then what I'm going to do, okay, I'll put a bit of a bluey, acrid color on there. I'm going to scan it in white, then I'm going to go in the back and put some color behind it. All right, here we go. Open. So I've scanned it in white. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put RGB on. And I'm going to come from down the bottom like this. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, nice. So now we've got the white and we've got some blue from behind, and that was really easy actually to swap between them. See, it's once you get the hang of the buttons, it really works well. They're a bit confusing at first, but once you get the hang of them, it's really good. Okay, let's not piss around. Yeah, that was really cool. Look, quick review. That blew me away. We're at F11 with it on full power with the grid on, and it was fine. So F11 in the studio is incredible. F7.1 we were blowing out. I mean, if you were at F1.8 or F2.8, you would have to dim it all the way down. So that's actually quite bright in reality. We are in the studio, it is dark, we are going to do some stuff outside later. Okay, so that was a light painting a plant. I think they probably look really nice. It worked really beautifully. Let's do some light painting. I'm just going to make some shots and just show you some of the textures that we get from it, right? And just, yeah, if you were gonna use this as a calligraphy tool, you'd probably want to have it on the pot. Here we go, ISO 100, F11. I am, there's calligraphy dead. Calligraphy dead, here we go, alrighty. Open. Okay, that was probably completely shit, but you're going to get a really good idea of the texture you get from it. Now, by the nature, this is really interesting, by the nature of it being a cob LED, it is a little bit yellow. Let me switch over to the warm LED. Here we go. Let's go again. Open. It's going to be a shocker. Well, that's quite nice, actually. I quite like that. Okay, let's give it a bit of shape. Here we go. This is just the bare LED, right? Here we go. Nice. I actually quite like that. That's a really nice shape. Once you'd be doing portraits, that would be really beautiful. Here we go. Let's jump in straight into this one here, which is the one I put some gels onto. Yep, we want to be on full power because it's going through that color. Here we go. So again, I'm just going to do some basic movement through the scene. Here we go. And we are open. Yeah, nice. It's a thing. I mean, what we really should be doing is a portrait session. But nice, you're getting a bit of a feel for that texture there. So I have some of this stuff here, which is cellophane. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Let's give that a try. Here we go. Ooh, shit, actually. Actually, that looks really nice. Here we go. Open. What? Yeah, far out. That's amazing. You can't, this won't focus on me, but that is very, very cool. Oh my gosh, here we go. Open. What? Hot damn, that's good. And again. What? Okay, that is very, very cool. Hang on a second. Now I'm excited. I got some different colours here. Let's stuff those in there. Too tight. Bugger. I battled with the glitter a little bit. We've got a little bit in there. Let's see how that goes. Alrighty, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Damn, that looks so good. I've got purple and gold in there. Here we go. Oh, where's that bright? Ah, that's it. I need to twist it around a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Purple and gold. Ah, and my remote. Here we go. And again. Damn, that looks so good. So with this thing, it's so easy to get texture into there. You could do so many things with that. You could put liquid chalk on there. You could put all sorts of things inside of there that would just be so good. Damn, I really like that. All right, let's get that away. One of the other, so that's a cool accessory, that. All right, so sitting on my desk here is the timeline you've just been watching, and I've kind of put a pause on it. I did a bit of a section where I put a fiber optic on here and a couple of other little tools, and I had a crack at a blade, and it just was out of focus. It's too out of focus really to make any sense, unfortunately. So what I've done is I'm going to come back to that stuff. Keep watching, because I do wrap up how I feel about the tool. Yeah, and it means we're going to make a whole bunch more stuff. Hello. Here's Polly. Do you like the scanner? Yeah. There we go. Just lovely as a scanner. I mean, holy moly. I was not expecting that. I genuinely wasn't expecting to need to dial, to close down to F11 scanning a little plant. But in the next video, we're going to pop outside and we're going to do some stuff outside. I'm really keen to do that, but that's for another video. This one has been long, I know. But yeah, look, my initial first impressions, how nice. It sits really nicely in the hand. If I hadn't lost the little pin, it would be a really nice little calligraphy tool. We've looked at some shape and texture. We could spend a million. I mean, hey, the highlight is the glitter for me, and that tube. How remarkable is that? I mean, my mind is spinning with the things you could be doing with that. That's just amazing. Yeah, you could be sticking all sorts of stuff in there. I mean, imagine putting a little bit of water and a bit of glitter and putting some tape around it. That would be fun. Anyway, first impressions, first play. There you go. Just lovely. Scanner Darklight Pro. Frodo, again, congratulations, brother. People, if you're looking at the buttons, you'll be fine. Already tonight, I'm in the dark, just knowing which ones to grab. It's rechargeable, which is the big thing. It's a 18650 battery, which is a dream. It's fantastic. Scanner Darklight Pro, Smith Tries Stuff. See you soon. We'll go have some fun with some more.